always James.
Previously on Dark Heresy.
Rock.
Episode 32. The A-Team. This is a story of a historian pilot, a witch, a moonshine killer, a gluttonous strongman, a dwarf builder, a bastard lieutenant, and a man who claims to know things. Nix, Courtney, Cletus, 3366, Nick, Luke, and Tommy Lee found themselves within the confines of the mutant holding pen. Courtney enjoyed the company of Cletus, whom she found fascinating. Cletus performed an incredible somersault to impress her.
Yeah.
He requested a pillow, as for some reason he was lacking bedding in his cell. Nix arranged to meet Alexa the following day. Today Alexa was terribly busy washing her hair. Nix also commed into the good Dr. Bucket and asked him to attend and take medical samples of 2 of the 4 mutants. Tommy Lee took it upon himself to do a bit of painting to lighten up the severity of the chamber. He also asked whether he could meet the Shepherd of Souls, his name for Yarn. Yarn was terribly busy washing his hair, but Nixis arranged for an introduction to meet up tomorrow. Courtney went back to her chambers where she had an excess of luxurious bedding, and she selected a used pillow, heavy with her witch scent, to gift to the 4-armed lizardman.
Beautiful.
Dr. Festus Bucket arrived and took blood and spinal fluid samples from Nick and Cletus. He would return for the other samples when his safety could be guaranteed. Before he left, Tommy Lee gave a chilling warning about the doctor's pet, Kara, telling him that she was fickle and had abandoned him for another. Nix, as you do. Perfectly normal behaviour. Nix allowed the mutants who had been behaving freedom from their cells. This seemed to spark a disagreement between the 3-armed dwarf and the 4-armed lizardman. For a moment, it looked like it would turn to bloodshed. Then the moment passed. Bruiser, known as 33, spoke with Nix, seemingly more willing to barter and bargain than before. He needed his rations sorting. 2 portions of nutrient paste a day was basically starvation rations to him. Courtney returned with the bedding and hatched a plan to hide the 6'11", 4-armed lizardman, Cletus, in a blanket, and then smuggle him out of the holding cell to take him on a tour around the ship. It was a silly plan. Ixius forbade it. A farcical idea. Pure and utter nonsense. Surely Courtney was truly insane. Nix pondered his next move. He reasoned that trade goods like moonshine or cheese would be of value on the ship. He decided to have a still constructed and to sort some vegetable mash that could be converted into moonshine. Perhaps Alexa, whom he was seeing tomorrow, would construct it. Or perhaps his new ally, 3-armed mutant dwarf, Nick Davenport, who would seem to have narrowly avoided death at the hands of Cletus, would do it. Nix calmed in to the interrogator Aaron Mattis, who seemed a lot more accessible than the Inquisitor himself. Mattis counselled caution in the production of moonshine. The engineers had a monopoly on alcohol production on board the ship and would likely react poorly to anyone encroaching on their territory. However, if they managed to produce some, he asked that he be considered to be cut in. As for the extra rations and vegetable feedstock, these things were controlled by Horace Horatio Butterfield, known colloquially as the King Cook. Mattis spoke of the various fiefdoms of power that were established on board the Malevolence. Some of these the acolytes had already encountered. There was the technomancer, Xerxes, and his tech adepts, who controlled fabrication and technology. There was the quartermaster, Dominic Peters, who controlled supplies and wages, who sat like a fat tick in the armory, sucking wealth towards him. There was the King Cook, Butterfield, who fed the population of the ship and controlled the supply of delicacies. There was High Lord Engineer Benny, whose engineers controlled production, blending, refining, and energy. There was Jagannatha, the pyromancer. One notable absence from this list was Cassandor, the master of coin, in charge of all matters related to trade and responsible for the wealth of the campaign. Mattis did not mention him at all. Nix decided to leave Courtney, Cletus and Nick alone in the chamber. He gave strict instructions not to try and leave when his back was turned. And definitely no hiding the lizardman in a blanket. And then he headed off to food processing, which is one of the most heavily defended places on board the ship. Scanners, stormtroopers, and gun servitors awaited them. Nix obtained a meeting with Butterfield, who had heard of the acolyte and how he enjoyed the Inquisitor's favour. Nix leveraged his position and supplies of salt fish, which he had purchased using his place within the Department of Trade.
The fish place.
Butterfield seemed willing to part with nutrient paste and tubers from hydroponics. In return, he seemed to wish to curry favour with the Inquisitor, using the strike leader to do so. Tommy Lee, who he'd been brought along for the ride, tried to impress as well, saying that he'd never met no king before, and asked whether he should bow. Horace Horatio Butterfield didn't require a bow, but if Tommy wanted to bow, the King Cook would not object. Tommy Lee, still finding his feet on board the Malevolence, went for an ornate bow. His gammy back nearly gave out upon him. Oh no, what's happening? What's going on? What is happening?
It's just,
Johnny,
it's me.
Johnny
just
C,
checking
of
from
course.
my
I've been reading my script.
phone
I
onto
can't
this.
see what's going on. I can't see what's going on, but all I hear is this doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yeah, mate.
And I don't know if I'm talking to myself. I don't know if I've jumped out, everyone else has dropped out. But I should have presumed it was just Johnny, because it's always Johnny, so... Okay, I was nearly there. I was nearly at the end. Where were we? Meanwhile, back in the holding... Oh, where were we? His gammy back nearly gave out upon him. Meanwhile, back in the holding pen, Courtney and Cletus had been left alone. Okay, and that is where we shall start today's game. Are you with us, Johnny? I can't see you. Are you here? Can other people see Johnny?
No, I can't see him. I can hear him.
I can hear it. I can hear you, Johnny, but I'm just getting the...
yeah, I'm here. I can see myself. Yeah.
Let me jump out and back in. There's something encouraging about the kind of disconnect and reconnect noise of Johnny. It's like It's something comforting because I know that you're there and I know that everything's normal, things are okay, and the tech heresy is alive and well.
Tech Heresy.
I
I
can't,
can't
see.
see.
Hayden
I can't
now.
see Hayden or Johnny, and James is not there. But James doesn't need to be there because we're what it was because we left out Hayden and Johnny at the end of last game. We're going to start with them two, and we're going to catch up on what they were doing. What they were doing whilst Tommy Lee and Nix were off with the King Cook. Are you with us, Johnny? Is it all going well?
I can see him now.
See you.
Can people hear me?
I
Yep.
can hear you.
I
What's up
love
with
the
you? What
showers
you
with the taps. The big tap showers.
doing? you like?
Yeah.
Did you like the facilities? Is that the first time you've?
First time I've zoomed in on the tap showers, yeah, because Nick was in there.
I like how you stood Cletus up, so he's like looks like he's doing a ballerina dance.
Yeah, that's right.
Can always rely on you to medal, Hayden.
Yeah, showing off in front of Carney.
Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for things to settle before we move on, and then we'll make a start. We'll start with Cletus, Nick, and Courtney, who have all been left alone to their own devices.
I say I'm pretty looking forward to get some moonshine cooking.
Just hold on, is Johnny? Just wait. Let's wait until Johnny's definitely here. I'm not sure. Now James's camera's gone all weird. Oh, James is back, but I'm not sure Johnny's here yet. Hayden, just hold up until we're sure it's all going smoothly, and then we'll make a start.
Yeah, I'm just listening, making brews.
No worries, James. It's just your camera went all pixelated for a minute.
Excellent.
Are you with us, mate?
Yeah, it's come on now. Thank God for that.
It looks like your connection's maybe a bit slow.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good, buddy.
Don't know what happened there. Possibly a little bit slow.
Has anyone else noticed that the bandana
Matches
on
me.
Johnny's skull and crossbones flag looked a little bit like he's wearing a wig?
He's moved it.
Well, for me, it looked like he was wearing the
Moving
bandana
it deliberately
himself.
now.
It was almost perfectly aligned. But okay, so
It's okay.
right, are we good to go, Johnny? Would you say, or do you want a minute?
We are good to go. Just continue. Just
I'll say
ignore
the first
Bring
part
it
of
out.
this game
Here.
is I need you here, Johnny. So until you're ready, I'm not going to start.
I'm here.
Okay.
I am ready now. Yes.
Okay, so in
Sorry
the
about
holding
delay,
cell,
guys.
no worries, mate. In the holding cell, there is Courtney, Cletus. You are together in the outside room. Are you both in roll 20? You can see the map, yeah.
Yeah. Roll
So,
20, yeah.
so you two are together in each other's company. There's the three-armed dwarf builder, Nick Davenport. He's over in the facilities over on the left, and then we have the other two captives who haven't been let out of their cells, which is the fat bruiser 33 and the lizardman Luke. So we're going to start off with you three.
And rightly so.
And that's where we're going to start off today. So,
Okay.
so in the facilities, you can hear the sound of running water. And Courtney and Cletus, you're together in each other's company. So, what are you doing?
Miss Carney, I think I'm
Shall
just
we,
going to go get myself a shower.
Have you had a look around your facilities yet?
I can hear that running water, and reckon I'll go and have a shower.
I think it's over here. I'm just gonna walk to the bit there. I'm gonna walk to there and then be like, oh, what's that?
Okay, so when you
duck
look
behind
in the
that
showers,
door
you see
really quickly and just go.
you get a glimpse of Nick. He's washing under the shower, and he seems inordinately pleased with himself. And yeah, he's still in his shorts, his ragged shorts, and he's washing under the shower.
taking my loincloth off and I'm going for a shower. I don't want to get my loincloth wet. Why would you do that?
Maybe your loincloth needs a wash as well. I don't know.
Oh, well, I'll give it a wash. But I'll take it off.
How long have you been wearing this loincloth? I mean,
I don't know how long I've been in jail and a prisoner. Probably a year.
Who knows?
Solid.
Okay, so you're having a shower, Cletus, and as you do so, Nick looks over to you. You're right beside Nick, and said, "Oh, well, this is some fancy sci-fi shit, isn't it? Look at the water pressure. And it's piping hot as well.
So,
fancy tech.
Come on then, Nick. I know you're a man who knows how to build shit. How the hell did you get this thing started?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you seem to be using it.
No. I mean, I don't know how you get the water all the way from wherever down in
here.
No, you just turn this knob like this. No, not that knob. This knob.
Oh, that's too cold, hot.
And you change your temperature. You turn it to the left. You turn it to the right. Change the temperature. Isn't that fancy?
Put mine on ice cold.
Okay. So you have a cold shower, and it's good. It's been a long time.
At the mention of that,
I can't see Johnny, and he's just cut out as well. And
he has
lost Johnny. No, not the tech.
Courtney's going to shoot a.
Oh.
Sorry, I missed that, Johnny. I think maybe your connection's a bit slow because you're breaking in and out there.
There we go.
We'll wait till you get yourself sorted, buddy, and then we'll carry on.
Fair with.
It wouldn't be Darkest Heresy without
Tech Heresy.
Without the Tech Heresy, Johnny. It's comforting in its way.
Yes. There we go.
Okay, I can't see you. I can hear you.
There we go.
Okay, I can see you.
I have returned. I do apologize.
Okay, mate. So what were you going to say? Could you just repeat what you said last? Because I don't.
I'm still mentioning the three-letter N word. Can't just going to shoot a quick glance around the corner and then be like, "Oh, I say," and then just go back and then.
Do I spot Courtney looking around the corner?
Okay, so you're having your shower. I'd like you to make an awareness test, but -20 for the running water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Courtney, you notice that Nick is also he seems to be packing for a midget.
This is vital intel. She makes a mental note of it. These things.
It's also because of his height. It's
the Inquisitor will be pleased. I don't know why, but
I will include this in the report to the Inquisitor. Okay, so you don't notice Courtney's. You don't notice that Courtney's been sneaking a look at you, Cletus.
Okay, I gotta say, Nick, you look fine, pleased with yourself.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen him quite like this. It's real fans. I could get used to this. Yeah. It just keeps coming and coming. Like never-ending water. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I miss the water already.
I certainly do, and it feels good to finally get a wash.
So then, Nick, whereabouts did they pull you from?
Well, I thrown down from Flea Creek. You heard of Flea Creek?
Yeah. I saw some moonshine up there back in time.
Oh yeah, that's where I used to live there with my family. And as he starts talking about his family, you see a sadness start to creep into his eyes. And he said, "Yeah, I work there as a handyman. I do all sorts of things. I build. I do a bit of carpentry. Just make myself useful to other people. But yeah, there's always folk needing my skills."
Sounds like you're very handyman to know. Are you very handy with a stick, sword, a piece?
Well, no, I'm not really much of a fighter. I ain't got the build for it. You see, I always try to make myself useful in other ways.
Nick, as a man with 2 extra limbs. I kind of see you're missing a trick here. Like you could even hold someone's hand and stab them with that extra third arm you've got. I see it's washing itself quite well over there with it.
Well, I
Do you
mean,
want-
yeah, of course it's any, any man from the bio can handle himself. I surely can, but
Well, Nick, I'll tell you what I'll do for you if you do me something. I'll teach you a
What's
bit
that?
of ways around weaponry, because I know a bit. And in return, you help me get my moonshine production going on down here.
he seems to think this over, and perhaps he wants to make amends, because you nearly had a bit of a fight. It nearly came to bloodlust when he left you hanging from a free-handed high five earlier on, and he says, "Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. Hopefully that Mr. Nix, he won't get me involved in any combat, but
Well, you gotta know how to handle yourself.
yeah, I mean, any bioman can handle himself a little, but sure, we can make a deal. And I didn't mean nothing by that before. I just I don't want to be on the wrong side of you, fella."
Well, and I go for a free-hand high five again with him again. Friends, and I'll hold him 3 hands up.
Okay, and this time he perhaps using the art of diplomacy, he goes for the free-handed high five. Perhaps not wanting to anger you again. He saw the bloodlust in your eyes. He saw that he came about this close to being murdered. And perhaps he's a little scared of you, so he gives you a free-handed high five. Looks like we lost Courtney. We lost Courtney again, and she's the third member of this free-man group. But never mind.
Come on down, Frank.
Okay, so what was you going to say? Sorry.
Well, I'll say, Nick, you've just that's the first free-handed high five I've ever been able to do in my life. My next ambition is to get 4th and a 4th with a tail if I can. Who knows? There might be someone else like me in the world.
He says it's good to have goals, and he turns the shower off and heads over to where the towels are and starts to dry himself off.
I'm gonna just enjoy 5 minutes apiece in the shower.
Okay.
Just let the water. I'm gonna warm it up slightly now. I've had a quick cold shower, and I'm just gonna let the water run over me, wet my lizard-like skin, make me feel like I'm back in the bayou.
So
Stop thinking about that.
Nick pops outside and he sees Courtney. Courtney, you're still outside the shower.
Yep.
And Nick pops out. He's dried himself off. He's enrobed in a towel, and he nods his head at you. It's Lady Courtney.
She's just gonna give a slight knowing nod, but not saying.
Nick says to you, he says, "Is it true what they said about the bio being destroyed, being desolated? Is that all true? Did that really happen?"
Yeah, I think that that is true. That is true. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, it's been annihilated. Nothing left.
Why?
Very quick though. So,
what do those folk ever do to you?
Those it wasn't me who did it. It wasn't my decision. That came from a bit higher up. It was deemed necessary to complete our objective.
Oh, and your objective was
and that's all I know.
Your objective
Sometimes
was to
sometimes
what's that, Johnny? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Well, that's above my pay grade. That's above my pay grade, I'm afraid. I can't really tell you. I'm sure you'll be informed in due course. But yes, it's not for me to say. It's not my place to say, I'm afraid.
Nick says to you, he says,
I don't want to stir the pot, as it were, with by telling you what's going on and what's not going on until somebody comes along who really knows and tells you.
Fair enough. Well, if you ask me, those family folk, they got what was coming to them.
What does it say?
Oh, he says, can you hear me all right, Johnny? He says, if you ask me, those family, folk, they got what was coming to them.
Yeah, I heard they were a bad lot. So maybe you're right. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. I just I wasn't sure. Okay, so I'm gonna pop over to Nix and Tommy Lee.
From the
How we doing?
from the
How we
sound of
doing?
it, yeah, you're absolutely right. I heard they were a bad bunch.
Okay.
And they're probably
I think it might be having connection problems again. Seems to be a bit of a
Yeah,
delay.
we've got a bit of a lag thing going on and
Seems
dropping
so.
in and out.
Seems so. Okay, I'm gonna pop back over to Nix and to Tommy. How are you doing, Dave? By the way, you look like you've. Are you gonna perk up? Do you think you've been drinking? Or are you gonna get wasted?
I am going to get wasted, yeah, but I only had a couple at the pub. But the problem with that was I hadn't eaten all day because I was on my way shopping to buy food because I had none when my car broke down. And then I walked down to Morrison's to meet Leanne, and she said, "You look stressed out. Do you want to go for a beer?" And I went, "All right."
Yeah,
So then I had a couple of beers at the pub, and I've eaten nothing all day. So I had a little moment a couple of hours ago where I thought I'm not going to make it to the game tonight, but I've had a pizza now, so I'm fine.
Oh, good stuff. But yeah, I thought last night I'm not going to get too drunk because I want to be in a reasonable state for my game tomorrow. And I thought I'll just stick to have a couple of beers. And
good.
normally I have a bottle of wine and maybe a few ciders, and I can drink quite a bit. And I had these few beers, and it seems to have utterly taken me out. And I had a right hangover this morning. Head was absolutely nipping. So great, another hungover game for me. Oh, never mind. Okay, so I'm going to come back to you two. You guys we left you in food processing. You were negotiating with the king cook. Nixius, you leveraged your rank and your access to the salt fish, and you managed to get some extra rations and some vegetable mash out of the guy. So your kind of discussion with him just concluded, but he asked you. He says, "So, what amount of vegetables were you seeking for your? What was it you were doing again with the vegetables?"
Extra nutritional supplement for an elite squad.
Okay, I'd like you to make a deceive roll, please.
On behalf of the Culinary Quality Commission.
I'd also, you'll have a modifier to this because of your reputation with the guy. Let me just check where that is. So I would like you, please, to add plus 10 to your deceive roll for your rep.
1 sec. Me load into all 20.
No worries.
fucking phone.
I don't see it as a deception, though. I think it's...
Because you're going for the vegetables for Moonshine, aren't you? Production.
Yeah, that's extra nutrition. Oh.
Okay, so is this close enough to the truth?
Absolutely, Nix doesn't tell lies.
Okay, well, fair enough. I'll take your point then. So we'll leave that. But he does look at you quite quizzically, and he says, "So we normally get the vegetables in 25 kilogram containers. Would that be sufficient, or?"
What the fuck is 25 kilos? That is...
It's
half a person?
so
It's 74 sprigs of broccoli, I believe.
is that right then? So okay, so the reason I'm kind of going, what we get is we fill 25-liter cans at work, so I can carry 2 of those. They're about, I don't know, about yay big, and yeah. So you could carry 2 of them in your hands, 25 kilogram containers, easy enough. Or do you need more than that? I mean, we have some 205-liter drums.
Yeah, a drum, I think, would be a 205-litre drum.
You may be noticing I'm leaning on my work knowledge here.
Horrible skills.
That's how we're going to play it. Fine. Mr. King, I can't help notice your chef's knife. Is that made of 83 carbon 25 chrome 838 quality steel? I'm not really saying that.
Okay, and Tommy, by the way, you've got a hunch. Is it I don't know. Is it a premonition? You think this King Cook? You actually think that your bow seemed to win him over somewhat, and you actually think that you may well be in his good books. So you don't need to squander that straight away. But so the King Cook he comes into someone, and a few moments later, a large barrel is brought through towards you, and it's kind of on a like a small pallet which is being wheeled along. And the King Cook says, "Well, let's just have a look and check inside, shall we?" And he makes to open the drum. And when he does so, you immediately can tell that something is wrong. There's some foul fumes that make you make you bile rise in your throat and make you gag a bit. It's some foul smell as he opens the drum. And you can see immediately that what's inside the drum has turned to utter filth and putrescent, and a horde of little black flies swarms out of the drum which he's just opened. And I would like you both to make a willpower test, a miasma test, due to the effect of this putrescence. And immediately the King Cook shouts, "Containment! Containment!" And in record time, you see chefs getting armed up with flamethrowers. So I'd like you to make a miasma test, both of you, please.
A miasma test.
Hell's Kitchen.
Al, I on my character sheet in under my corruption seem to have an extraordinary amount of bonuses to my miasma test.
Yeah,
Are they cumulative?
Yeah, they're all cumulative. So
Yeah.
it should be very tough for you to fail
Yeah.
these. And that's because you spent a life.
I am already utterly corrupted.
Okay, so both of you
by living.
Yeah.
By you.
So I mean, Tommy, you've seen the corruption that the miasma has on foodstuffs. It's quite common, especially in Grimsport, to see food turn quicker than it should. So this is nothing too unusual, but it's interesting to see it's happening on the ship as well. It's not just limited to the planet. So all these.
Ooh, looks to me like the plenty's got into your vegetables.
I'd like you both to roll initiative, please.
Oh, we're gonna have to fight mutant broccoli, Nixis.
Well,
9 for Tommy.
Eating broccoli is my preferred enemy. You're about to see something.
Have you
really
got
special.
hatred?
Oh wait, no, 10 for me. I've got wary. I'm
Okay.
just line. That's really down.
Wary of broccoli.
You should be. Is Johnny with us? Because I just see a black screen.
I
for
am.
Johnny.
I'm here.
Johnny with us?
Yeah, can you
Yeah, I can see him and hear him.
All right. Sorry, Johnny. I've not been. Just give me a sec.
It's okay.
I get this quite
It's
often.
fine.
Sometimes I can see. Yeah, I just need to rejoin the call. It's really annoying. Yeah. So for anything you said, if you said anything to me in the last 5 minutes, I probably haven't heard you. So
No, I haven't, mate. Nothing of worth.
nothing of dear. Very good. So yes. So you rolled a.
I have a total of 10.
Okay. And what do you say, Dave?
10 for me as well.
Okay.
Altogether.
So what will happen in a tie between you two?
Agility.
Okay. So.
37.
So it's probably James winning that one, right? Or...
Yep.
Okay, so the King Cook is the first to act, and he moves backwards away from the putrescence. He holds his hand over his mouth, and he gestures to his cooks, and he commands them, "Contain this outbreak now." He commands them, and the chefs seem to move almost like a trained military unit. Nixius, you're next. There's a 205-litre drum full of black filth and flies. Flies are now everywhere around, coming out of this container. What are you doing?
Where's the nearest airlock?
You don't have to vent the ship to space every time there's an incident. I mean, it's only when there's a serious incident we need to do that.
You're not the only one who gets to vent the ship to space, Alan.
Well, in fairness, it was Johnny who did it, not me, you know.
Oh.
It was. Comes Alexa, she'll sort it for you.
Oh, I was so happy in this Chaos Gate game I got to vent some people to space, and I thought, yeah, I'm in my happy place now. It's like they've been reading my notes. So, okay, so what are you doing, Nixius? I mean, you don't have to do anything. I mean, they seem to have, dealt with this before. They're wielding flamethrowers and approaching the
Yeah, okay, well, I'll... yeah, I'll take my pistol out.
Okay, draw your pistol, half an action.
I'll hold the other one.
I think holding is a full action to use half
No, touche, yeah.
later, I believe.
Yeah, I'll do nothing.
Okay, fair enough. Next up is Tommy Lee. Are you doing anything?
No, that's
Yeah.
not true.
What
What about Overwatch? Is that half?
I think Overwatch is like fully automatic weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think you can do it with any of your weapons.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
It's also a full action, I think.
yeah. And it's also a swarm of flies, so it's not an easy target to. You'd probably need some sort of blast weapon to.
Pick off a few at a time, with some highly accurate shooting.
Okay,
definitely. No, I'm waiting for some kind of big fly.
Okay, very good. Tommy Lee, what are you doing?
I am flailing wildly at the flies with my ugly staff while yelling, "It's the planet! The planet gone got itself into the food! Oh, Mr. Prickles, help me!"
Okay. So are you attacking the fly swarm with your staff? Is that right?
Yeah, really ineffectively, probably,
Okay,
but I'm
so
going to have a swing.
Go have a swing. Make a weapon skill roll, please.
Okay, I'm going all out.
Okay.
It's a fly.
Okay. I'd like to roll damage against the fly swarm, please. Okay. The staff goes through the fly swarm. I mean, perhaps you've killed some of them, but it's a swarm of flies. You're not sure how effective your staff could possibly be, but you certainly feel better for attacking them.
Yep.
The cooks, it's the chef's go, and one of them shouts to you, Tom. He says, "Get back, get back!" And they start torching the drum with the flamer, and they're also shooting the flames around the fly swarm, trying to avoid you, obviously, Tommy, because you're perhaps still a bit too close.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other cooks going around. They seem to have some sort of light that they're moving around. That seems to be popping the flies as well. Some sort of radiation emitter. So the chefs, the burner chefs, they seem to be making short work of the fly swarm, and it looks like they're well trained and experienced at what they're doing here. So before much else happens, they seem to get it fairly under control. And the 205-litre drum is quickly incinerated.
I don't think those vegetables are going to be much use, Mr. Nixius.
Yes, tell me, Cook, how often does this happen?
No, I hate it when that happens, but it happens quite a lot, to be honest. The closer we are to the rift, the more regular the rate of
That's really
spoilage.
reassuring, to know that like that happens quite a lot in the kitchen. On
Yeah.
the ship.
They certainly seemed to deal with it quite rapidly, and there's now a load of cooks going around just with these lights, just trying to kill off all the little flies that have escaped.
The plenty gives, Mr. King, and the plenty takes too.
Yes, so I've heard it said. I shall arrange for another drum. Yes. This one I'm sure will be fine. I hope. And very, very shortly, another drum is brought, and this one is checked as well. And this one it's full of these white vegetables floating around in what you presume is water.
Marvelous. Yes, that will do nicely, thank you.
Very good, very good. Very well. I'm very busy, so I must ask you to be about your business and remember what I said about the Inquisitor.
Of course.
Yes, good. Yes, good. I am a fully trained chef. So you're escorted. There's one of the cooks, one of the burner chefs, helps you with the drum and pushes the pallet for you.
Thank you very much, Your Highness.
And King Cook smiles and he nods his head at you, Tommy Lee.
Okay.
So you're escorted through food processing. And food processing is like, it's a bit more like a factorum than a kitchen, let us say. Give us a sec, let me just move on to another page. So I know, as you say, you're looking around, it's a bustling area. And many of the workers are dressed in overalls and respirators rather than in cook's uniforms. And here and there you see a tech adept overseeing maintenance. And the sounds of the chamber too are like a manufactorum. They're it's a steady clonk, 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 of repetitive machinery. And your nostrils are assailed by the smells of roast meat, hot fat, herbs and flavourings. Over the smells of food, there's also the heavy odours of promethium and the sweat of workers labouring over their tasks. So as you approach the entrance to food processing, there seems to be a bit of a kerfuffle here. There are a series of 10 Imperial battle containers being escorted by a small group of engineers who are dressed in vulcanized rubber suits and armed with shotguns. And they are escorting these 10 sets of containers which are on tracks. And they're bringing them back to food processing. And there seems to be some disagreement between the cook who is between the cook and the engineer as this transfer is happening. And the disagreement seems to be that over the amount of these containers. The cook says, "Well, I was expecting 12. It's supposed to be 12. Where have the other 2 gone?" And the engineer says to him, he says, "Well, if you don't like it, you can take it up with Benny. 10 is what we've got, and 10 is what you shall have. Now we'll sign it off." The cook looks unhappy with this scenario, but he seems to sign something. And these 10 containers are transferred over to food processing. So the cook with your drum, he heads off with you out of food processing, back into the corridors of the ship. And you presumably going back to your cell, is that right?
Yeah.
With the drum, is that correct?
Yeah.
And are you happy with that as well, Tommy?
I'm just following Nixius, yeah.
Okay, so you head off back to your cell. So we're going to go back to the holding cell now, where Courtney and Cletus are. I want to ask if there's anything else you want to do. You've got a bit more time. You can either do a bit of RP, or you might have some things that you want to do in your free time, or you might want to just fast forward until the others come back. So, what would you like to do, Cletus and Courtney?
Oh, Cleus, wait. Well, finish my shower.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go and see the big boy. Have I spoken to him yet?
Okay, so when you come to this door in the centre here, Cletus, the door is shut. You don't see how to open it. You've seen the other people open it. They open it with like a hand reader. It scans the hand. So you do know how to open it, but you're not sure whether you can open it. And when you try, it goes, eh.
Well,
What's up?
Does anyone else think it looks like I have a Hitler moustache tonight?
A little bit, yeah.
What's
Maybe
going on
it's,
there? Sorry, I just glanced at Disco and went, "Why have I got Adolf Hitler's moustache?"
There is an element of that. I didn't really notice it, but now you pointed out. Now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, are you slowly changing into him?
No, I've just realized it's the shadow of my nose. I thought it was like I'd missed a bit when I was shaving, but it's the shadow of my nose. Look.
Okay, so
reangle the lights, Dave. All the lights to prevent Hitler look.
My inner Nazi is coming out.
Okay, so Cletus, you get stuck at this door, and that you don't know how to get through it.
all right. I'll go back and talk. Is there anything to eat around here?
I think all the food that's been delivered here has been eaten.
No.
There's no food.
I'm gonna look in these lockers, see if I can find anything else I can fit into.
Okay, there's. I mean, the clothing here. Basically, it's there's nothing for you, nothing that'll fit you in here. The lockers are mostly empty. These are kind of lockers for people to put their things if they want to store clothes and what have you. So there's maybe some of the personal effects of Nixius and/or Tommy Lee in here, but there's certainly nothing. I think anything that you want to wear is probably going to have to be made bespoke for you, Hayden.
I don't see why.
Is that right? Okay.
Put extra 3 holes in it, it'd be fine.
I mean, yeah, obviously you could. I mean, if you want to wear clothes, I'm sure you can, but it's not going to fit right. You know what I mean? It's not. If you want something comfortable and well fitted, it will have to be made bespoke for you. It's not that you couldn't wear other stuff and rip holes in it, because obviously you could. But yeah, but if you want something that actually looks good on you.
Cardi, is there any way I can get some clothes on this ship? I find it very cold, don't you?
Not in what I'm wearing at the moment because it's perfectly tailored to keep me warm on the ship. But yeah, I can imagine if you're used to a more what's the word hotter climate, like in the bayou, you might feel a little bit cold. I'll see what we can do. I'll see what I can do. Who would I know that could help with clothing issues?
So, I mean, you're not sure. I mean, the person who helped you with your clothing is Laura Skysinger. When you were moved into your new opulent room, Laura lives nearby. She's in a room next door to yours. And she saw that your room was fitted out with a range of clothing that fits you and it also looks good on you. So when you were moved from Cell 54's chamber to your own room, it was Laura who helped you out. And so you've got a fine wardrobe of clothing. So maybe she could help, or maybe the I mean, maybe the person who's supposed to sort this sort of thing out is the quartermaster. But you've had bad experiences with him.
Yeah, he's a bit of a git. Well, I don't know. I think we could maybe get some materials and then maybe get somebody to draw up a nice design of the sort of thing. What sort of thing would you like to wear? What do you think could help?
Just
You know
a
your
bo-
own body better than I do. At
just
the
a
minute,
pair of dungarees, I do. With a
Pair of
tail
dungarees.
flap. Yeah, well, I'm not used to having to show with sleeves, but some decent trousers with some straps over shoulders so they don't fall down.
I like it. So you're a man of simple taste. I can appreciate that. That's because I'm pretty simple. So I'm just gonna basically comms to Laura Skysinger.
Okay, you comms into it. She answers straight away, and she goes, Courtney, how can I help?
Hello there. I've just got a quick request. We've got some new guests on board the ship, and they're feeling somewhat underdressed. I was wondering if we could get some fabric or something, if somebody could come down and measure them up for some new garments. If you know of anybody on the ship that could do that.
I shall come and have a look myself. Given the nature of your new companions, it's perhaps best to keep this under wraps as much as possible.
I couldn't agree more. And she's going to tap her nose and go.
Okay, you tap your nose, and she's obviously on a different part of the ship, so
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't know that at all. But
I know, but it doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't matter.
yeah, just.
Right, she's going to do it anyway.
Okay. And she said,
and then, all right, Courtney out. And then I'm just going to turn and be like, well, somebody's on the way to get you fitted out right now. So sit tight.
You seem
and
to be my lovely lady. Looking after me like a mother, eh?
She's going to give you a wink, and then she's going to sidle over to this table and sit down there casually.
Okay, so Nick also follows around, and he sits down as well. Smiles at you, Courtney.
She's going to smile back.
Okay.
Isn't this nice? We're all getting to know each other.
Okay, so soon after, Nixius, Tommy Lee, and one of the cooks are going to turn up, so I'm going to put you guys onto the map. One moment. Okay, so you should be able to see yourself on the map now, you two. So you see the two stormtroopers who are guarding your cell. And Nixius, you note the 3 red stripes on their pauldrons that mark them out as the Inquisitorial Guard. And you note that one of the stormtroopers has a red helm that marks him out as a sergeant. Behave, Hayden. What are you up to, naughty boy? Sleeping on the furniture. So I've put you on the map. What are you doing, Nixius and Tommy Lee?
Well, we're just rolling the drum in and we'll see how it goes from there.
Okay, so you're gonna take the drum off for the cook, the burner chef, then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, he's not coming in.
Okay. Okay. The burner chef he turns to you, Nixius. He says, "Got a perfectly good name," and then he walks off. And he leaves you with the drum.
You want a hand with that, Mr. Nixius?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you two, I shall make the drum controllable by you if you want. There we go, control. Okay.
There's butter in the vents, and I don't suppose little Bobby still has that old book. I didn't say nothing.
Sometimes, old boy, I don't understand your banter.
Do you think we'd be allowed to, warm the room up a little with maybe a little fire?
No fire, but I'll
Just a little
look
fire.
into how the climate controls are adjusted. Have we been into that already?
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have like a thermostat or anything like that. The temperature is regulated throughout the ship, so you don't really know how you could increase the temperature of the room. It's not something you have the option
Fire.
to change. Obviously, a fire would work, but that would probably also set off alarms in the ship, and
Yeah, you might get
the anti-fire systems will probably kick in as well. So. Okay,
I
so
don't know nothing about what you speak.
all part of a cunning plan.
There's nothing cunning about Tommy Lee.
That's what you want us to think.
So, Miss Nixius, we've got this large drum here of vegetables. And what are we doing with it now?
just hold on one moment. I just want to know whether Cletus is actually moving, where his token's moving. Are you heading outside of the room,
No.
Cletus? You're not.
I don't die.
Well, that's fine. I just wanted to check because I saw you when you moved your token outside. I just wanted to check what you're actually doing.
It's not chess. It's not chess.
Okay. So stormtroopers see you two. They recognise you, and they let you back in the room.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to put your tokens back in the chamber? Are you going as well, Nixius? Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No worries. What are you working on, by the way, buddy?
I'm on with Iggy at the moment.
Iggy. Hey.
Little Iggy is the little young fire starter. Whoa.
Okay, so you're all reunited now in the holding cell. It's approximately 6 o'clock.
Miss Nixius, what's a ponix?
Oh, what's what?
Ponix. That's hydroponics. What's that?
That would be oh man. Oh, Nixius.
Something like when you catch a cold.
Memory banks.
When you grow something that you can smoke that gets you to the next level,
I was trying to be stupid. I would know
it's
that.
okay.
I would know that.
It's a type of farming. Involves growing plants without soil, using water-based mineral nutrient solutions and aqueous solvents.
Oh, you were right then.
Right about what?
Sorry?
He was right.
Who? Well, I'm confused. What are you saying? Where do we put these vegetables?
You got them.
Right, I'm going to go over to Cletus and say, right, Cletus, here's your veg. Where do you want these?
Well, have we got the other equipment to make it with? We need to start
You don't have a still. You don't have a still.
No, not yet, but we're waiting for our technical specialist, who will be along tomorrow.
What's the dunk?
Just gonna tap the barrel, the drum.
What's the drum made of?
Okay, it's made of plastic. You don't actually recognise the material too much. It's not a material which is common in the bayou, but it seems resilient.
We need a couple of hands to distill this. All right.
But
Well, we can mash it first.
Yeah. I think the first step is the mashing, isn't it? So you don't need a still for that. You just need some large containers. I mean, what you need a pinch of yeast. What else do you need to get going with the mashing?
Right. I'm going to have to go get some yeast out of 3366's belly button.
I've told you this is a quiche area. I'm going to have to invoke my GM safe word when you start trying to harvest 3366. There's places we shouldn't go. You're a naughty boy, Hayden. A naughty boy. Okay, so yeah.
I'm gonna pick a vegetable out, though, can I take one out?
Yeah, of course. It's like a floating white tuber.
I'll grab another one and
Hmm.
pocket one, and then just eat one. 'Cause I'm still really hungry.
Okay, so you eat a tuber, and I'd like to add a tuber to your inventory.
Thanks, that's for later. And I'll just offer one more out before I start mashing. Anybody want one of these before I mash this stuff up?
I'll take one if no one else. I ain't never seen vegetables growing in a bucket before.
Space veg.
Cottie's going to move over to the bucket. Cottie's going to move over to the bucket and then just take one of these tubers out and just like, oh, I've never seen one of these before. She's just sort of going to sort of handle it and just go, what does it mean? What is it? Can you explain it to me? And then just be like, just do some hand motions with it and be like, well, and then just squeeze it and so it's sort of like so something like it sort of goes out the end a little bit and be like, oh, I taste to have, and then she's going to drop it back in the thing. Delightful.
So
I'm sure you
that's
know.
it.
I'm sure you know what a tuber is, Courtney. You grew up in an agri world. So.
Yeah.
I know. But
So
she's
is
just pretending.
that looks like a good tuber. Is that a preferred method of eating? Make it squirt out.
Yeah, depends. Depends what time of day it is.
Right.
What?
Well,
You gotta like
I'm good.
rub them until the juice comes out. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I was taught.
And Nick goes, "Is that how you make moonshine? I never knew."
Well, you could try it like that.
I'm going to get in this barrel anyway and get mashing. I'm all nice and
Okay.
clean.
Just
So
climbing in.
yeah, I'm just mashing it with my body like I would.
Okay, so
Stamped in
you start the mashing process. So that's what you're doing, Cletus.
Old
You'll need a
peasant
skill.
style.
So you need to get this mashing, and then you need to obviously to go on to the next stage. You'll need a still constructed, but that won't happen just yet. You've arranged to meet Alexa tomorrow, so maybe that'll work out for you. So what's everyone else doing? You've got a bit of free time now, guys.
I'm going to go back to my earlier attempt at painting and make another attempt at trying to create a bayou scene on the wall.
Okay, so you're going to carry on working on the painting. Everyone else who sees this painting, it does look a bit ghastly, and you do wonder whether Tommy Lee has any skill at art whatsoever. Or whether he's just a crazy guy with a paintbrush, you know.
I'm just Bob Rossing it up against the wall, just talking about happy little accidents and just paint some
Nice fluffy little green bushes over here, and let's put a little log in there. But it might not be a log. It might be Mr. Gator just having a good time in the bayou.
Courtney's going to stand there and watch sort of fascinating. She's going to stand there and watch fascinated while he's doing this painting and be like, "Oh my god, that's the best painting I've ever seen."
Okay, Courtney likes it, but yeah, not quite sure. Not quite.
You're wasted here.
She must be insane.
You should be back on Terra painting murals and all sorts of things. Because to her, she can see like this amazing picture that's just fun, like absolutely fabulous, like and really realistic. When it might be like a few daubs of paint and stick, man.
I think this card is off the fucking rocker.
That is incredible.
Do you want me to make a roll for my painting now?
No, we're still going off the last roll at the time being. I say I think how my crafting perhaps differs a bit from how you do it is we'll do less rolls. I know you do quite a few. I think so. There might be quite a lot of rolls against crafting, but for me, there'll be less rolls overall. And so I suppose the impact of each roll is more, more important, I suppose. So at the minute we're still working off of the ghastly roll that you made, the 5 degrees of failure in the first instance. So, but I'll let you know when it comes to the next one. So you're spending your time on the painting. Nixius, what are you doing? while this is going on. Everyone else seems to be doing a bit of crafting. Do you have anything you want to do, or?
Not really, no.
Okay, so you're just going to sit and
I'm
have some leisure.
just going to sit there and take it all in.
Okay, so you're just gonna relax a bit. Okay, so around an hour passes, and then there is a chime on the door goes. Ding bong.
Bing Bong's here.
Go answer it.
And outside you see Laura Skysinger. You're immediately reminded by how beautiful she is, dressed in a uniform of the Department of Trade.
What do you call it? Colin's gonna go.
Laura, what brings you here?
My dear, thank you for coming so quickly.
And then just do the fake sort of like kissing on either cheek type thing.
Yeah, she does the whole routine with 3 kisses alternating cheeks, and you know, she seems to be, she seems to genuinely like you, Courtney. She doesn't seem to be, you know.
And I'm suggesting
this way, please.
And she says to you, Nixius, as she walks in, she says, Courtney asked that you might need some clothing sorted for your new companions. Let's have a look then. Who are you talking?
Perhaps armor as well, if they're going to become a combat outfit.
Courtney's gonna run over to Cletus.
Like, oh, you must dress my new best friend.
And then just sort of present pull Cletus by the arm and then just bring him over and be like, and stand him in front of her.
You just stand there.
Like that.
Oh, 1 minute. Let me scrape this mash off
You just
my
stand
legs.
And then just like that.
Okay.
And then just have a quick feel, I think, and be like, oh, there we go. And then she's gonna move back.
Okay, so
shyly, and then sit in the chair and turn it round and just sort of like lounge out a bit on it and just watch.
Okay, so you get out of the bucket. Laura, you haven't. So Laura looks you up and down. She's quite petite by comparison to you, Cletus, and but she doesn't look scared. She doesn't look phased as she looks you up and down, and she brings out a little date pad. She goes, "Hello, Cletus, is that right?"
Yes, that'd be the name. What be yours?
My name is Laura, and I'm a colleague and friend of Courtney here and Nixius.
Nice to meet you, Laura.
I'm just going to observe Laura and I'm going to try and figure out what her game is. Why isn't she getting phased by the mutant for a start?
Well, she does know. I mean, she's the one who gave you this mission in the first place, so she is certainly aware of everything that's been going on. And I think it was her who gave you the actual original order to go and buy the mutants in the first place. So she's been involved with this whole deal as part of her role in the Department of Trade from the beginning. So she's been kind of overseeing it. So it may well be that I mean, first of all, I'd like you to make a scrutiny roll to see what you can take in, please. And I'd like you to add a +20 for your Auspex score. And I'd also like you to move your token inside the room. Okay, so your Auspex kind of feeds you information as well, Nixius. And as you observe her, you do notice that she has elevated temperature levels and an elevated rate of breathing. So you do actually think that she is not completely comfortable around the lizardman, but she's putting on perhaps a facade or a mask so that she doesn't want to give away. So she's perhaps putting on a face here, perhaps a confident act. But it's you think with your servo skull readings.
She's human after all, then.
Yeah. I mean, as far as you can tell from your Auspex skull, she's a human. No sign of mutation. You just think that she's putting on a brave face, so to speak. when she's dealing with him, and trying to keep that kind of confidence and, like, I suppose, level of command going. But your skull tells you a different story. Okay.
Well, that's nice.
Okay, so Laura starts making notes, and what was the last thing you said to Cletus? Sorry.
I was just saying hello, basically, and I was going to ask her, say, well, what sort of clothing could I get? What are the options?
Well, she says, well, I think we'd have to make things especially for you. So, I mean, what would you like? I mean, and she also turns to Nixie and says, yes, I think armor would be appropriate. Is this one trustworthy, do you think? Has he reached a level of trust that we can begin arming him?
Are any of us trustworthy, Laura?
She smiles at that. And I'd like you to make a charm roll as well, please. Oh, I like your painting, Tommy. I've only just noticed that. Okay, so she smiles at you. She smiles at you, Nixius, when you say that, and it looks like a genuine smile as well. And she goes, "Well, let me put it another way, Nixius. In your official capacity as the squadron leader, do you authorize us to begin producing armor for this mutant?"
Fundamentally, I authorize armor for all of them, please.
Okay, I shall have to arrange this. Obviously, some of these mutants, well, I mean, most of them will need special requirements here.
Yeah, I think one
Bespoke equipment. What are you wanting for in clothes, Cletus?
I would just like myself an old pair of overalls. I'll take the arms off it and make the tail haul. Be fine.
She goes, oh, well, that should be straightforward. Is that all you want?
Well,
priority should
warm
be
as
given
well.
to all-enclosing gear, and perhaps
Body glove would be good for me, but I don't know what one of them is.
yeah, I need to think of some way of
I don't know what
hiding
that is, really.
the extra appendages as
Long coats, maybe.
as like bionic appendages, perhaps.
It's going to be that'll be a tricky one. I mean, maybe I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's always going to be tricky to hide the fact that he's a giant four-armed lizardman mutant.
Yes,
not
but if I
impossible.
make two arms look like they're
challenge.
bionic, and the tail look like it's bionic.
Yeah. So it's not impossible, but it's certainly not easy.
Yeah.
I do have a quite a reptilian head.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So you're requesting fully contained armor, so
With a hood,
like sort of environmental suits with protective levels as well. Then Brown.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd almost go as far as to let's start with black, and then maybe work our way up to characters.
Okay, so she says, "I'll have to involve the Technomancer with this," and he seems the Technomancer has a lot on his plate with ship repairs following the incidents with the meteorites.
Was that a dig?
That was a. It's the same, I was the same in the What? You got myself to blame. Oh dear. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It was a ridiculous thing for the Inquisitor to ask of you, but highly amusing for me anyway when you failed all of your piloting rolls. So. Okay, so she says, yes, I won't tell him it's you who's requesting it because he seems to dislike you thoroughly, the Technomancer. He holds you personally responsible for the damage to his ship.
Well, I was.
Well, I mean, you could argue that the Inquisitor takes full responsibility, and I would make that argument as well. So, not everyone on the ship has the same opinion. Very well. So armor, clothing, and Nick pipes up and he goes, I mean, I wouldn't mind some clothes. All I got are these tatty shorts. Maybe you could get me some, maybe one of these fine uniforms like you have. She turns and looks to him and goes, perhaps that can be arranged. And again, she makes notes.
Tommy Lee's just stood there watching this talk of clothing in his filthy, slightly ragged Bayou outfit with his long overcoat, just passively watching the exchange.
Okay.
Would I be able to get a hood and some sort of mask? That's all right. Just to cover my face up a bit. I used to do it a bit more back in the Bayou, bandage my face up.
What kind of mask?
I don't know. Just something which covers my head. You know, but you can't see through, something like that.
Yes, I mean, it would have to be specially made, so there might be some delay, but it's certainly possible.
Can you make it scaly?
A scaly mask?
A scaly hood.
A scaly hood, okay.
Yeah.
And again, she seems to be, her like slight fingers are dexterously moving over the data pad. And she seems to be making notes of all these things that you're asking for. And then she says, "Well, if that's all, Nixius, I shall take my leave."
I've got one more request. I've not got any shoes on.
Shoes, and she looks down at your scaly, taloned feet.
I can always cut my toenails to fit into a pair of boots. Don't mind me.
Okay. I mean, I can get you some boots, but I think they wouldn't be very comfortable unless we had them made bespoke.
Oh, actually, don't mind about it. I climb better without shoes on anyway. But
Okay,
some socks, please. It's awfully cold in this ship.
Yeah, it really is a little chilly in here. Is there any way we can make it a little warmer?
Oh, we could start a fire. Like that. Got any pipes up? You know what I mean?
I was saying that we could start a little fire. I mean, it ain't gonna do no harm. We keep it under control.
Yeah, well, we'll be there if I go
Can Courtney try and conjure a fire?
Okay, so
She at that stage yet?
let's have a look at Courtney then for a sec. Now, Courtney does have some powers. One thing that Courtney's got now is when you get random powers from time to time under times of stress. Now, the last instance when you had these powers was during the orbital assault. And now, because of one of your later perks, you can now keep these powers for a number of sessions. Now, let's have a look. See if you've... I don't know if you've still got any. That's the wrong character. Let's have a look at Courtney. So I do think you've got a couple of powers here. So you've still got, from the orbital assault, Bio-Lightning. And Sculpt Flame. Now, Sculpt Flame lets you manipulate fire, and you use this at the orbital assault to control a fuel dump explosion that had gone. You'd set fire to a load of fuel, and then you'd use that flame as a weapon. Now, I don't know if that allows you to create fire, but you can definitely manipulate it. You can feed fire. And increase the size of it, and use it more like a weapon.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that can actually be used to.
I'm getting a bit of lag from you.
Oh no!
You're fine.
I don't know if it's connection. I think the connection problem might be at your end. I think it might be your end, Johnny. Do you want me?
Has anyone got a lighter?
Courtney, let's not have
Has
any
anyone got a flame
fire inside the ship.
Laura speaks and she says fires are not permitted on board the ship. I wouldn't recommend that you do so. It's and plus there isn't much wood around anyway.
Okay.
Yes, and she seems a little flustered when you say this.
Thank you very much, Miss Laura. Your time has been a pleasure. I know, forgive my appearance, but I was born this way.
She says, yes, I understand. We do not get to choose how we look.
You reckon?
No, but I'm comfortable in my own skin.
I'll leave the call and then I'll come back on. But because you sound like a robot.
Okay, mate. I think I'm okay with the other guys. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. The tech heresy is strong as usual. Okay, so Laura will take her leave then. After taking your orders for various items. So you've got it. Go on.
I was just going to say thank you very much. It's like Brad just give us a free pass. Thank you very much, Nixius. I said thank you kindly. Miss Courtney, but she can't hear me.
Yeah, it's tough to do these interactive roleplay bits when we've got heavy lag. So you've got again a bit of free time. It's around 7 o'clock in the evening. You've got a bit of free time before bedtime. Do you want to carry on painting?
Yep.
Okay, so do another 3 hours on painting.
Mhm.
Nick, are you still on leisure time, or is there some way that you'd like to spend your rest of your evening?
I should maybe find out where the ship's going.
When you were piloting, you asked where the ship was going next, and Commander Sharp told you that it's heading to Ridge Station, and that's the next location on the campaign. You don't know exactly what that means. But you do know that you're heading away from the miasma.
Cool. Yeah, Nix is chilling them.
Okay, so you're just gonna spend a few hours with leisure. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Cletus, are you going to carry on with your mashing for the rest of the evening?
Yeah, I'm going to mash it all until it's mashed.
Okay, it's mashed, and
should have been
okay,
done
so
after an hour ago.
I mean, we're starting the not fertilizing, the what's the word I'm looking for? Fermenting process. I'd like you to make a roll for trade cook. We're going to start it's the cook moonshine skill you've got. I'd like you to make your first roll on that.
Any bonuses?
Just straight roll. It's not good.
I'm re-rolling that with my fate point.
Very good. Very good use of fate.
Make this reach right. Bit less.
Okay.
Degrees of
4 degrees of fire. Okay. And after a couple of hours, the door chime goes again. Who's going to the door?
Nix.
Okay, and outside the stormtrooper, he hands over some overalls.
Much obliged, soldier.
He salutes, goes back onto duty. Is Johnny here? Because I can't see him.
Hey.
I'm going to go back.
I can see a frozen Johnny.
I've always got the blue squares for myself. You with us, Johnny? All right, well, we'll leave Johnny for now and ask him what he's doing later. So the rest of the evening passes. You're doing your various crafting. And Cletus, you can now add a pair of overalls to your gear if you like. And you can patch a hole through for your tail.
Okay, mate, guys. Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to wait a little bit because the next... I kind of wanted Johnny back for where we're going next.
Okie-dokie.
Well, let's hope he can rejoin us. Let's take a little break then, guys, I guess.
Well, while on a break, I'll take off the sleeves and poke holes for the tail on my overalls.
No worries. So, you jury rig the overalls for yourself. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's fine for you. I mean, right, we'll take a little break, guys. I'm going to go for a slash, get a drink, and hopefully Johnny will get Johnny back in on it.
Ready?
We'll go for a week.
I'm really glad you took the vegetables off that chef guy, because I was about to say he shouldn't go in there really because of the mutants, and then I was like, no, that's metagaming. Tommy Lee wouldn't have any concept of that.
I've got no concept of metagame.
Tommy Lee.
I imagine Tommy Lee to be the kind of guy who just breaks the fourth wall.
That is kind of going to be the plan eventually, but at the minute he's totally out of his depth. He's never been out of the bayou before, so I'm trying to play him a little bit like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know where I am, and I'm just basically following Nixius around because Nixius seems to know what he's doing. But he's going to be a lot of fun once he starts kicking him properly. Here's Alan.
I can see Johnny. Is Johnny back with us?
He disappeared off.
Okay. But at least I can see the Jolly Roger now, which is pretty
Yeah. I think Sarah maybe came to
Oliver.
ask him something and he disappeared off.
No worries,
said
we'll
we
take-
got for a couple of minutes.
We've gone for how long, did he say?
A couple of minutes, he said.
No worries. Well, we'll hang around and wait for him to come back before we progress. How was your...
Well,
do you
while I
believe-
remember, could you grab me some more acetone when you get a sec? I'll bring the bottle back on Tuesday. Give me a big white bottle last time.
Did I not? Yeah, it's not a problem. If you want to maybe just send me a text, because I'll probably forget.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I'll
Um,
like I say, I'll drop it off when we go to thing to me. Oh,
I'll
do
say
you mean-
I can get you some more acetone. I mean, them white bottles, I don't necessarily... I've got them... Yeah, I'll have the bottle back, but I don't need the bottle to refill
Yeah,
it.
cool.
I've got plenty of them bottles at work. So.
I bought a nightmare metal chompy, which is like a rare version of chompy, but the bloke sold it to me saying, "Oh, it's just airbrush undercoat," and it's been an absolute fucking cunt to stroke.
Yeah, I mean,
But I've nearly smashed a whole bottle just on this one fucking
what you've been
chompy.
using? Have you been using the acetone, have you? Or do you want
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
want
it's
me
great
to-
acetone. There's like I put I actually got a painted metal Dreamer crew as well, so I stripped one out and I put that in, and that was done within 24 hours. And this other chompy, I just keep taking it out, cleaning it, sticking it back in again. It's nearly there, but it's been an absolute fucking nightmare to take whatever this paint is. I don't honestly like some kind of shitty spray can undercoat, even worse than a normal one.
I can maybe sort you out with some like glycol ethers as well, which like brake fluid. Maybe it's different chemicals might have a better go at it. I don't know.
Well, like it was just down to the rarity of the model. I wouldn't normally have bought it. to be
I can get you
honest.
some hydrochloric acid. That'll take it off.
Yeah, it would. Along with my fingertips and the
Yeah, I wouldn't.
metal
I mean,
itself.
I could get you some conch hydrochloric, but I wouldn't take that from work and give it to you. It's just-
No. Like acetone is brilliant. To be honest, normally it's ideal stuff.
I used to use Dettol.
that's
Yeah,
what I used to
it's
use.
actually like I would before I'd strip with Dettol and that worked really well. Dettol works for plastics. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like obviously acetone just melts plastic, so but it also melts away super glue.
Yeah.
It's super useful.
I stripped.
I'd dip it with Dettol and then I'd dip it in the acetone and it would just finish it off nicely. But I just started using straight acetone, and it works an absolute treat, to be honest. But when it meets like spray undercoat, kind of struggles, and if you're not careful, it smudges.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this shit is. It's almost like enamel, to be honest.
One of the models I got off Al, the Tyranids, you know, the big one that
right.
lays the babies. I've forgotten the name of it. It's been that long since.
Tervigon.
Yeah, that's the one. When I stripped that, there was layer
There's
upon
laws
layer.
in.
There was so many different layers. Like they were like pink and silver, weren't they, to start with?
Yeah.
And I stripped that off, and under it there was like ultramarine blue. And
Really?
it looked like it had been put on with a trowel. And then
I think it was it was like kids. I think kids had
Yeah.
painted that really, and
I stripped that fucker. That took about 3 days to get it all off, of soaking it and scrubbing it with a toothbrush. And then there was this black layer on it that just would not fucking come off. It took days and days of scrubbing it and
Yeah, that's the spray undercoat, the spray can undercoat. I actually got a Carver model of this chap in Singapore, and it fucking came 7,000 miles in 6 days. It was amazing, to be honest. It was a tribute to their mail and our mail. But that was unpainted, so I put that guy together. That was ideal. And then he also had this same model, and he spray undercoated it black. So it was down to him. Like, I only got 2 replies in Facebook, and I've not seen the model anywhere else. So it was down to this Singapore bloke or this English guy, and the English guy just thought, oh well, if that's airbrush, that'll be nice and easy to strip, and it fucking wasn't.
how would you feel about going via Winterton Brownie on Tuesday?
Yeah, to pick up your bro. Yeah, no problem.
I think.
Will we have 6 of us then? Tom.
I don't know, but I mean, I can always sit out and just. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think if we've got odd numbers, it's not the end of the world. I mean, my brother opted. He said he would sit out if needs be, but he looks like he's already got a game. Sorted.
Yeah. Cool.
I'd still come round and just chat for a few hours. You know what I mean? And maybe. So. I had a really strong craving to buy and play 40k again after playing this Chaos Gate. I was just thinking, I could have, it's really,
I saw the new when the new Custodies book came out. I got that, and I was really into the rules and all the rest of it. And I was thinking about buying some bits and bobs off Forge World.
It's Chaos Gate.
Do you remember?
You ever play XCOM Enemy Unknown?
Yeah, you played
that on the PC.
I did, yeah. I don't Amiga.
Yeah. It's kind of there's a newer version of XCOM for the PC, and this is this Chaos Gate's kind of based off that. It would seem for the most part, it's like an XCOM style game. So you got squad and you're moving around like grid sort of game, turn based.
Yeah,
but it's great. It's Grey Knights versus Nurgle. And it looks sweet, and it's a blast. So
it's good.
Enjoying that. I can see Johnny's shoulder. Is Johnny you with us, buddy?
I clicked on his screen and all I've got is blue balls.
Do you?
Because I've saw that shoulder for about 10 to 15 minutes. Well, no, not that long, but it hasn't moved.
Yeah, he came back and sat down, and then we got the shoulder. Oh, he's just gone.
Oh, no.
He probably can hear us, but he's not being able to.
No, he's not in the call anymore. So
taken by the warp.
Oh, well.
The Planny's got him.
Then he gets us all in the end.
Cletus just looks like he's either running everywhere or balancing on one leg, or in the dead pose if you turn him upside down.
So you made your own token if you want to use that.
No, it's all right.
I quite like that token personally, but
I know you nicked it, so you had to throw around.
I've been using a bit of it's a program called GIMP, like an image manipulator, and I've been using it a bit for making tokens. I've made a little portrait of Luke, so I got a lizardman's portrait, and then I put some nails in his head. So I had some fun doing that. So
nice.
But yeah, I mean, mostly what I use it
Smoke.
for is just taking the backgrounds off of pictures and using them as tokens. So.
I say, said anybody want to let me in this back room for a bit? I know I'm kind of stuck in here.
Well, I suppose we can carry on doing a little bit of RP while Johnny hopefully comes back. But yeah, you wanting to go back to your cell? Are you wanting to go back to your cell, or you
Well, I
want
haven't
to?
seen
So
all
this,
the covers on it.
you haven't seen what? Sorry.
Well, no, you've only just put the covers on this game. It's beautiful covers, by the way.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
have
bed.
seen because obviously Courtney handed you the pillows and the covers.
I'd like
So.
to go see 3366 because I've not met
Okay.
it yet.
So only Nixios and Courtney have the authority to open the door that separates the prison and the outer room. So you're going to let Cletus back in his cell, Nixios?
Sure.
Okay, so you head over there, you put your hand on the reader, it acknowledges you. The light turns green and the door opens.
Okay, I go through.
And Nick says, I think I'll maybe go back to my room as well. He heads back to his chamber. So you're heading over to 3366. He's laid on his bed, which seems reinforced because it does seem to hold his weight. You're not quite sure how. So it's probably some sort of sci-fi bed that it can actually hold 33.
Oh, I see they got you covers, boy.
And his eyes are pretty much shut, and you're not sure if he's sleeping or not. And he doesn't initially respond to what you say.
All right. I don't want to disturb him too much, but I'll take the yam or whatever it is out of my pocket.
Take the tuber, the unidentified vegetable.
Yep. I say I brought you one of these.
Okay, and then his eyes open, and he looks at you. And he gets up, and he heads towards the door. And he looks you over, and it's an appraising look that he gives you, as if he's sizing you up somewhat.
I noticed you were stuck with me on the lineup.
That's very kind. And he takes the yam, and he eats it in short order. He stuffs it down his gullet with little etiquette whatsoever. He goes, I was a slave, had me working down the mines in Lost Hope, me and my brother. So we could do the work of 10 men.
I'm not surprised, those muscles. Pretty damn big. I work the speed of 10 men, not the strength of.
Yeah, I can tell you'd be handy in a fight.
As if anybody could hit me. Not a few people have, but I got a tendency for moonshine, you see, so I tend to get myself inebriated. That's how I ended up in jail. One misfigure attached round my neck, just like you, Sonny.
Did you got any moonshine, have you?
I've got them ready to make it. I'll be sure to save you plenty.
Oh, that's mighty kind of you, Miss Lisman. Any chance you can get me out of this cell?
It's not in my power. I'm just like you. They took some sample from my spine, said I was cooperative, and they let me out for a bit of free roaming time.
Yeah,
Good behaviour for a change.
I see how it is.
That's
well,
how it is.
Well, I've already told Mr. Nix once I get fed, maybe I'll be a good little boy and give my samples.
Well, I really enjoyed a shower. I'm sure you could drink that water too. I've had a bit of a slurp myself.
Shower, eh?
Yes. Obviously look at my skin. I look getting wet. Not much to do with weighing water on this boat, is there?
Well, you're surely right, so... but yeah, maybe I'll have a shower one day. Maybe I'll be clean. Can't remember the last time I had a wash.
When I came out, of the thing, I've also got, I've saved a pocket full of mashed stuff. I'll say, hold out your hands, man, I've got a little bit more for you, if you don't mind a bit of my skin being next to it, it's supposed to be mashed. I saved it for myself for later, but you look like you need a bit more.
He doesn't seem that fussy. He takes the mashed yam and he scrans it down. He goes, yeah, me and you are gonna get on fine, Mr. Lizardman.
Cletus, to you, mate. Cletus, what's your name?
He puts his hand out through the bars. He says, you can call me 33.
If I shake this hand, you're not going to pull my arm off and eat it, are you? 33.
Oh, no, you should never bite the hand that feeds you.
It's just, it looks like you could. So I shake his hand.
Okay, shake his hand. He's got a firm handshake, as you can probably imagine.
Yeah.
But he's not trying to, like, completely. It's not
I
like
am
a power
wriggling
move.
my
It's not like a
hand at the
power
same
move or
time.
anything, you know.
Yeah, so
But he gives you a firm handshake.
Yeah.
Just give me one sec. I'm just going to rejoin the call. You back with us, Johnny?
I am.
Hello, sir. Welcome. Welcome back.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. So, Johnny, everyone else has been spending, they've got a few hours of free time and they're spending their time crafting. Cletus has been spending a bit of time chatting with a fat mutant. Nixius has been chilling. You've got a couple hours of free time if you want to spend it before bedtime.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to do, or do you just want to spend that time in leisure?
She's gonna, she's just gonna go back to her chambers and just pamper herself, I think.
Okay, so my camera's not working now. Johnny's giving his tech heresy to me.
I'm having some real tech heresy tonight, guys. Like, I don't know what's
Ratgo
going
has
on with
infected Alan.
I'm just gonna probably restart and rejoin. Just give us a sec.
Yep.
Being 6 when the war ended, and I remember rationing and popping nostalgic and all.
Nice.
You look pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to 3366. I've got a little bit more information.
You're just joking. You let this go with.
It might just be my tech heresy that's just affecting everything.
Scrap code's getting through the network.
Is it? Honestly, because like there must be about 50 devices. I'm not even on the Wi-Fi that my laptop is, but I don't know if. But the what do you call it? My phone's not on the Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi here, it's just on. Might just be O2 being shit. Sound alright on here, yeah?
Hey guys, so I'm back.
Hey, can hear you fine.
Sound better?
Yeah, I think are we all good? I'm just waiting for you to come back.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, you say you're going to go back to your chambers, just chill out, pamp yourself a bit,
And
head to bed, right?
Yeah, just take it easy.
Okay.
Just do my thing, and think about that lizardman. What she's seen today.
Okay.
As Courtney leaves, Tommy Lee's just going to go, "Good night, Miss Courtney."
And she's gonna turn around and just give like a theatrical bow, like the pleasure is all mine. See you tomorrow.
Okay. So, Courtney, as you walk back to your chamber, you see something that is unusual. You see some graffiti painted on the wall in dark matte blue paint. And you see a servitor trying to remove the graffiti. And what it says in large lettering is Spinebreaker purifies.
Oh dear. I'm just going to. I'm going to go up to the servitor and go, servitor, can you change your order to just cross that purifies out and write Sax instead in really bold writing.
The servitor looks at you, slack-jawed, does not respond.
Um,
You think there's a bit of drool coming out the side of its mouth?
perhaps another time. And she's going to go, has he got any sort of things on him, like spray sort of stuff, or what's he trying to?
He's got some kind of high pressure hose attached to his arm, where his hand would be, which he's using to power wash the paint away.
Yeah.
It's a monotask servitor used for cleaning stains and
Is anyone
seditious graffiti.
Is I'm just going to comms into who should I comms into? Tian, I guess.
Don't do that.
Like,
he's busy washing his hair.
Jan's got dreads, man. They don't need wash.
Yeah. I'm going to comms into the Inquisitor. I'm like, my lord, this is Courtney. Are you aware that there's some slightly alarming seditious graffiti aboard your ship?
Okay, there's a moment of silence as you comms into the Inquisitor, and the person who speaks to you is actually the interrogator, Aaron Mattis. It looks like your call has been diverted to him. It's not the Inquisitor who responds to you.
Okay.
And he goes, "Hey, Courtney, thanks for calling it in, but yes, we've already aware of that, and we've sent servitors to clean it up."
Is there any way that you'd we'd be able to find out who did it? Like, because we can then sort them out.
Aye, we've checked the server scores, but there was none in the area at the time. We've lost quite a few of the server scores through the repeated venting of the ship to space. Server scores are relatively limited, and we don't have full coverage all the time now as we have in the past.
That's a terrible shame. All right, I just sort of call it in.
I appreciate your diligence, lassie.
But the Emperor protects and all that.
Aye, so he does.
And then she comes out, and then she carries on, heads back to her chambers. Does she see any more seditious graffiti anywhere, or
just that? The rest of your journey back to your chamber is uneventful, and you chill for the rest of the night and then head to sleep. So everyone else, are you sleeping in your cell, Cletus?
Just going to ask 3366. I'm going to say, if you behave... Oh, wait a second, wrong voice.
You want these Arcanthians, are you, eh?
I know. It's jumping over, isn't it? It's jumping over.
He doesn't say that at all.
Well, if you behave around here, they're kitting me out. Before brought me my overalls, show me overalls, and they said they're going to bring me a battle suit or something, so I reckon they're training us up.
They bought you off with some overalls, have they? Eh?
Yeah, they bought me off with overalls.
Oh, we'll see. I've already told Mr. Nix what I want. I've made my offer to him. We'll see if he comes good.
I don't need to be getting involved. I've just come here as a friend. Another slave to slave, eh?
You go, yeah, we got to stick together.
That's right. Anyway, you have a good night, and I'm sorry I ain't got more food for you.
Yeah, you keep your eye out for, and if you get any of that moonshine, you'll put it my way, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so are you going to sleep in your cell then with your luxurious cushion and pillow and duvet blanket that you've been provided with?
Yeah, I am, but I'm going to do a secret willpower test to practice spells.
Practice. You want to practice? What do you want? What are you going to do exactly? Tell me what you want to do.
I want to blend in with my background.
Okay. So make a roll.
I'm going to lay on my bed and then blend in with it so nobody can see me laying in my bed. Well, lay on my bed and do it so the covers out. But yes, I'm going to roll.
Okay, I'd like you to make a manifestation, please. So
how do you do that?
You need to roll d10 and add your willpower bonus. And there's a target number for every psychic. So if we look, you should have. With any luck, you should have your. It should be a section. I've been bad here. I've not put it onto your character sheet, so that's naughty of me. I'll go check what the.
I've got the book right here.
Oh, if you would check check for Chameleon, please, Dave. That's kind. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I mean, normally what I do is I put your powers in. There's a section for psychic powers, but I've been a lazy GM and not done it here.
7.
Missed it. 7. So you roll d10. You add your bonus. So what's your willpower bonus?
Only 3.
Only 3. So you try and manifest the power, but it doesn't work.
No.
You get a mild headache for a moment, but you can always wait a moment and try again.
Can I do that?
Yeah, if you want to persist, you can keep trying. The other thing, oh no, you wouldn't have invocation, would you? Okay, so you can try. You wait a few moments, and then you try again. So roll another d10, please.
I've got worse headache now.
Just not happening. Just not happening in a minute. So, Tommy Lee and Nixius, you're outside while this is going on. You spent most of the evening painting, Tommy Lee. It's about time for bed now. Is there anything else you'd like to do, or you're going to get some shut-eye, or
I'm
you want to stay with one another?
I'm going to get myself into bed after I finish painting, and after yelling goodnight, Miss Courtney, I'm also going to go, good night, Miss Cletus. Good night, Nick. Good night, Miss Nixius. Good night, Mr. Prickles.
Okay, so there is a large, heavy wall and door in between you and Nick and Cletus. So Nick and Cletus don't hear that, but you say it anyway.
Yep.
Nixius, are you getting some shut-eye now? It's about bedtime, or is there anything else you want to do or say?
Yep. Yeah, I'll still go to sleep.
All right, so we'll move on to the nighttime. So the night passes without incident. None of you have any strange dreams or anything like that.
Yay.
Apart from Courtney.
Oh.
Courtney, you slide into your luxurious bed, which is slightly less luxurious after you've given up some of your soft, expensive pillows to the lizardman. This room is opulent on board the warship, and it puts you at ease, and you have little difficulty getting to sleep. Just one moment, I'm going to put us onto Courtney's map. Courtney's map.
Okay.
Okay, so and you fall asleep. And it's been a long time since you have ever remembered your dreams. Not since the Tyrant Star came to your homeworld of Zilman's domain. And with it, with the Tyrant Star, brought the ruination of that world. The slaughter of its populace. Oh no.
Sorry.
And lots of sneezing.
The apocalypse of sneezing. You struggle to remember that day.
A snotcalypse.
Hey.
Yeah.
It was as if your mind shattered, Courtney, rebelling against the things that should not be.
She sneezed again and again and again.
It wouldn't stop. I couldn't stop sneezing.
The sneeze apocalypse.
The fogs and the mists that rose from the rents in the ground, and the creatures that waited in those mists, feasting upon those that fled. And you wonder sometimes, was it you who summoned that Tyrant Star? Did it come for you? Your fellow villagers wanted to burn you upon a pyre. Burn the witch. That is always what has been done on Zilman's domain. But as they bound you to the stake and moved to light the pitch with their torches, the tyrant star came and apocalypse was brought to your homeworld. Death and madness and slaughter. You can barely remember the details. But you know that you survived after a fashion. Your mind a broken thing. But you lived. Your fellow villagers, those who sought to execute you, died in excruciating fashion.
Served them right.
But you survived the apocalypse, and since, you have not dreamed, or at least you do not remember your dreams. Until tonight. You are gripped by a strange vision. You dream of the miasma. At first you are in the orrery with Jagannatha, staring at the cogitator-rendered hollow projection of the Orpheus system. You stare at the image of the miasma that the ship's augurs cannot properly convert into a digital image. The miasma flickers and stutters and pixelates. You find yourself drawn towards, falling, slipping into the miasma. It drags you forcefully towards it. And in the nature of dreams, you are no longer on board the ship. You are within the miasma itself, floating in space. And all around you, the tumultuous warp storm crashes. The power of the rift is awesome. You see 5 champions battling over the miasma, seeking to control it or destroy it. One of the champions, seemingly unarmed, a charming man dressed in a fine purple 3-piece suit with a matching wide-brimmed hat, is bested, consumed with flame. As he burns, turns to dust, playing cards fly away from him, each burning in turn. And the last to burn is the Joker, the wild card. Now, only 4 champions remain. Your dream changes again and you find yourself walking the streets of an alien city. The transition is seamless, natural. Such is the nature of dreams. The floors and the walls and the ceilings are made of brass, seemingly organic. Folk who walk and talk and trade in this bustling city of brass are a mixture of man, of mutant, of Xenos and of demon. The only currencies here are blood and souls and years. You shift again and see a world. From a distance it looks like a milky white eye. The planet repulses you. Now you stand upon its surface and you gaze over vast armies of war. The remaining champions battle over this place, this world, this key. They battle under skies of burnt umber, as they have battled time and time again. Here is the end game. Here, lastly, you dream of a knife, barely a hand's length, small, hooked, cruel, and wickedly sharp. This knife is ancient and has killed so many, countless lives it's taken across millennia. It has stolen so many years. It has passed from generation to generation, sometimes willingly, sometimes taken by force. It has passed from hand to hand across time to this place. What is a knife's secret? Courtney, you instinctively know that if you were to die here in the dreaming, you would die a true death. If you were to die here, you would never awaken. In fear, you wrench yourself from the dream. You flee this place of war and death. You flee the knife. You are back in your chamber, drenched in sweat, heart racing and adrenaline coursing through your veins. Do not sleep again tonight. Okay. So the rest of the night passes without incident for you guys. And you wake up the next day. There's a door chime. And your breakfast has been brought. Nixius, Tommy, you're in the outer cell.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Is that role playing or is that just Dave having?
No, that was Dave. Do you want me to get the bing bong?
Has the bing bong actually gone off, or is he?
Bing bong. Yes, it has.
Was that after he said that or before?
No. Well, let's roll dice for that one. It was. He said it just before the doorbell went.
He's going to raise an eye at Tommy Lee and go, "Oh, yeah, it's that time, isn't it? Yes, please, Tommy."
It's always that time. And I'm going to go and open the door. I'll try and open the door.
Okay, yeah. The door opens and there is a servitor outside with your breakfast this morning, and he seems to be bringing a lot more than last time. The servitor moves in and puts the food down on the desk, on the table rather. So today, Nixius, you have 2 portions of fish stew, and you have 10 portions of nutrient paste.
I have what? Sorry, 10 portions of paste and what else?
2 portions of fish stew.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday there was 2 good meals for you and Courtney, and the rest of the paste was for the others.
Yeah. So where is?
You're not sure where Courtney is at the minute.
Okay. I'll go and give the rest their nutrient paste then.
How are you divvying up then? How are you divvying up the food?
Right. So 2 each for everyone else, and then how many people is there actually? It's 5 mutants or 4 mutants.
Okay, so you've got Luke, 33, Nick, and Cletus. That's 4 mutants.
Yeah.
Then you have Tommy.
33, 2 to the other guys.
Sorry, would you just repeat that, please?
I said 4 to 33, 2 to the other guys. 33 is on double rations.
Okay.
And then I'll save the fish stew for me and Courtney.
Okay. All right. So, Tommy, 2 portions of nutrient paste is probably too much for you.
Yeah.
Cletus, you've got 2 portions of paste. 33 wolfs down these 4 portions in short order. And Nick and Luke seem grateful, and they take what's offered. And
I'm gonna,
33. Go on, sorry. No.
I'm going to eat probably about 3/4 of my portion and take what's left to 33.
Okay, so presumably Nixius, will you let Tommy Lee through the outer door?
Yeah.
So he can't open that one.
All the freaks are bonding. It's great.
Okay, so Tommy Lee, you're taking the food to 33. He looks up. So far, it's been a bit precarious between you two. You didn't offer him any cheese previously, but you got the cheese out, so you kind of tempted him, teased him almost with the bio cheese, and then you snuck it away.
No,
it weren't. I think 33 is the only one who didn't get the bio cheese.
Got a tease and before you can cheese them.
Well said.
I'm gonna go up to the bars of the cell
I'm going to put the full portion with the leftovers of mine of the paste scraped in, put it over near the bars, and then take a few steps back and go.
Now there's a little bit more food for you there, my friend, if you're gonna be a good boy.
Goes, yeah, I'm a man of my word. Don't let anyone say otherwise. And he takes the food, scrans it down.
Maybe.
Sorry, did you say you're putting it in? You say you're putting it in, did you say, Dave? Or you're putting it?
I'm putting it just outside the bars, yeah, on the floor.
Yeah, so he reaches for it and he brings it in and he scrans it down. Says, do you want to go get Mr. Nix? I'm a man of my word. I'll give up my samples.
Yeah, I'll let him know. If you keep being a good boy, maybe there's gonna be a little cheese in there for you too next time.
And his nostrils flare at that. He seems to have his attention.
You know what I'm talking about.
He's very food focused.
Like a dog.
Okay. And he nods at you and goes, well, thank you, Mr. What should I call you?
Just Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee would be fine.
Tommy Lee, is it?
Yeah. Now you understand.
How'd you get messed up in this chicken shit outfit, even?
Well, truth be told, it's all a little confusing to me. See, I was down there just minding my own business, and I had a vision. You see, this man would come and he would take me away, and I had to go with him. And I know that sometimes I have these visions of things that are going to happen, and I have to make sure they happen, you understand? So when I was minding my own business, and then the man I seen in the vision, he appeared before me in the flesh with his friends. I said, well, I'm going to have to go with you. And then all the pigs died, and I sure got sad.
Oh, yeah, who killed the pigs then?
I'm going to look around, make sure no one's nearby and go,
I kind of think it was me, truth be told.
All right. Good eating on pigs.
Not those ones. I didn't mean to kill them. You understand? They just kind of died, and I think it was me that did it.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're a handy man to know, Mr. Lee. Sound like a powerful man could see the future. Can kill pigs with your mind.
No, none of these things are true.
Some kind of wizard.
I'm a bio wizard. No, I don't. You don't understand. I don't see the future, and I didn't kill no pigs. At least I don't think I did.
All right. Now I'm a bit confused, and he scratches his head.
Imagine how I feel. I don't even know where we're going. I just know that we're going.
Yeah, well, I'm not fond of this paste, but at least there's a bit more of it today, so I suppose I'd best see where this outfit's going.
Well, speaking of outfits, they even give you clothes if you ask for them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I heard some of the other fellas, they done talking about asking for clothes. And, maybe you could get some nice duds, too.
You reckon they could get me a hat?
A hat? Yeah, that's a good idea. What sort of hat you after?
I don't know, like something imposing.
Imposing hat?
Maybe with horns on it or something.
I was thinking like a trilby. But okay, I understand. Yeah, a horny hat. Okay.
Well, just a thought, like just throwing ideas out there.
Leave it with me. I got an idea. And I'm going to go, Mr. Nixius!
and go running back. Jogging as fast as I can.
Okay, you get to the door again, which you can't open, and you knock upon it. Nixius, you're going to let him out?
Yeah. What is it, dummy?
Mr. Nixius, I think I know a way of getting the big fella to play nice.
Oh, did he like his double rations?
He seemed much more amiable this morning, see? But I mentioned to him that pretty lady came around and was offering clothes, and he said he would like a hat with horns on it. And if he could get a hat with horns on it, he'd be the goodest boy you ever did see.
Right, I need to get my Jamiroquai hat. Get a buffalo hat. Can see it. See it now.
The doorbell goes.
I'll
Bing
go answer
bong.
it.
Bing bong.
The bing bong, Nixius. Do you
The
want me to
bing
get
bong.
that again? I'll get that again.
Okay. When you head to the door, you notice now that there are 4 stormtroopers guarding the door, whereas before there was only 2. And there's Laura. There's Laura at the door.
Miss Nixius, the black men are breeding.
Oh God, what did I just say?
They're out breeding us. So. I'll say
Shit.
You're gonna get us demonetized again, Dave. Okay.
Oh dear.
Laura says she sees you. Tommy says, "May I come in?"
Of course.
Okay, and she walks inside. And she says, "We've doubled the guard on your room. There's been a murder."
A murder?
A murder. The ship is up in arms at the minute. It was one of the nurses. She was stabbed many times somewhere around the crow. So I think Nick's, you're aware, obviously, of the crow, but the others are not. Courtney as well. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, let's get Courtney in on this one. Courtney, you get up, and are you heading back to see these guys? You have a bit of lie-in, and then you arrive as well. Sorry, Courtney. So you rejoin the others.
You'll have to forgive me, Miss Laura. The crow, is that some sort of local slang? I mean, like whereabouts is it on the body?
It's a drinking establishment. It's a place for people to socialise.
I apologize. I misunderstood. When you said she was stabbed in the crow, I'm sorry. Just ignore me.
And she does. She goes, Nixius, I mean, your fellow adept, Nathaniel is overseeing the investigation. I wouldn't concern yourself about this killing too much, but we have increased the guard, and I would just ask you all to be, wary. And like I say, the ship is quite tense at the moment. It was quite a gruesome killing from what I've seen. Yes. Anyway, but that's not the reason I'm here. I'm here. I have something to ask of you. I bear an important mission directly from the Inquisitor.
Yep. Go ahead.
What progress have you made with your new recruits?
Well, I'm still waiting to liaise with the other half of the current recruits. Are receptive to Imperial cooperation, and I think the other two. The other two are close to compliance as well.
Very good. Oh yeah, today, by the way, you
I
have.
need to liaise with the other team, especially regarding the Lizard Man Lucas.
Yeah, you have an arrangement to meet them at 4:00 today. You and Tommy are going to go and meet Jan and Alexa. Okay. That's not her. She's saying that's something you arranged in the last session. And she says to you, "Very well, I understand. So this mission from the Inquisitor, we have had reports of 2 tech adepts and 2 stormtroopers who have gone absent without leave. They were last seen heading into the lower subsections of the ship. And we are running on a skeleton crew. Lucius is forced to reduce the food requirements sufficiently for this long voyage. So there are few enough places that we can resupply safely out here in the expanse. And of course there are the extra losses that he has occurred with the Xenos attacks. Most of the underdecks are poorly maintained and sparsely populated. They're a veritable warren. And this section of the underdecks is given over to the heat exchangers, rerouting heat from the ship's cogitator banks and mass drivers, and sending that heat back along mostly to engineering. So we sent several servo skulls after these deserters, and all the skulls have been incapacitated, which makes us fear the worst. You do recall the warnings of the Inquisitor that there are traitors and saboteurs working for Spinebreaker on board the ship.
So you want us to go and search them out?
Yes. He wants your new team to root out these deserters. Xerxes has analysed the ship schematics, and he believes that they could pose a threat to the ship itself.
Let's see.
Things are precarious with the stormtroopers on the ship at the moment, and the Inquisitor doesn't want to send stormtroopers against stormtroopers.
Okay. Any word on armouring these lovely boys?
That would take time. I mean, I did say to the Inquisitor, I said, why on earth would you send cell 54 in the state it's in? And I see that it seems quite... and she seems flustered as she speaks, and some of the Inquisitor's decisions do seem questionable at best.
Why don't you send the Raster? I'm sure that he can solo it all.
Yes, I mean, I said as much. Why not send cell 53 or cell... Even cell 7 would be better, more appropriate. It seems... Some of the decisions he makes seem to invite chaos.
Logical.
Utterly. But I understand that he relies upon the future sight from the Navigator and from Jagannatha and also from the spacecraft. The Navigator and Jagannatha are providing, and also now Yarn, it would seem, are providing the future sight, which I think he's trying to tread a very precarious path. You know, a path of knives towards a very specific future.
Dangerous travelling such a precarious path, surely, in this proximity to the rift itself.
Sometimes when you see things that ain't happened yet, you make them happen just by seeing them and acting on what you think you've seen is going to happen maybe one day.
Tommy Lee, are you
Yes.
talking about quantum mechanics?
What? The what now?
What's his name?
Whose name?
Nick's just going to look at him with a newfound interest. Oh well, I guess we've got another job to do. How are we to get there?
I mean, well, the Inquisitor, he did ask me to have faith in him, and I do. He always seems to come good in the end, no matter how insane some of his choices appear to be. I mean, he does enjoy my full support, and
Fortunately, you've got a solid crew, wouldn't you say, Laura?
Yes, I would say so. And she seems to be regaining her confidence a little bit. It looks like she seemed a bit worried of what she had to ask of you. It has to be you, he said. Cell 54. He said the combat operation would be a good bonding experience for you and a chance to prove your new recruits.
Yes, quite. Honestly, Laura, if you saw what we had to do on the planet, this is light duty.
Oh, I'm glad you've taken this so well. The Inquisitor says you are to go straight away. Well, the ship will close down a number of doors, and we shall evacuate the corridors towards the transit chute, and I shall escort you down towards the lower deck substation. And once we get to the underdecks, there's hardly anyone down there apart from a few engineers, and they don't really count. But please don't let yourself be seen. I dread to think what will occur if the crew learn we are using mutant slaves.
Miss Laura, can I ask you a question?
Well, of course you can, Mr. Lee.
Please, just Tommy or Tommy Lee's fine. I was wondering, you spoke about heat exchangers. Now, what's the exchange rate on them? Because it sure is cold down here, and if they trade heat, I'd like to buy some.
She looks at you and goes, well, I'm not sure now is the correct time to have a discussion on thermodynamics, but perhaps later we could talk about it over a coffee, and you could perhaps tell me about your quantum mechanics, and that would be a very interesting discussion. But really, there is no time for this. The Inquisitor said you must leave immediately.
Well, I don't have compliance with Luke for a start, and 33. Things could get dicey if.
Poor choice of words there.
She says to you, you should select your team. Take only with you which of your squad you want to. I'll leave that decision completely in your hands. You will know better than anyone else who to take and who not to. If you want to just get your things together. So, guys, what I was going to do now was, firstly, I don't see Johnny. Is Johnny there?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so I see Johnny now. So what I was going to do now was just a bit of inventory management so that you could get your loads out sorted before your combat mission down into the underdecks. Now, it does look like we might be losing Mr. Walker. I think that might be the case. So we might have to have an early finish to this. So what we'll do is we'll just do a bit of inventory work. And I shall show you a character sheet for you, Nixius. Now you've got, between Nixius and Courtney, you have a bit of gear flying around, weapons and armor. Whereas some of your mutant companions, and I'd have nothing really other than an explosive collar. So the first decision you need to make is who you're taking, Nixius, down with you on this mission. So you're going to leave Luke behind.
Yeah.
Who are you going to take? You're obviously going to take Courtney, your combat-able battle psychic.
Well, I'll just take the four of us, to be honest.
You're going to take the four of you, okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to leave behind. Yeah.
33. As much as I'd like to, it's
okay.
Nick's just wouldn't.
No, that's fine. That's your decision, and he's still got a red circle around him, so Okay, so I've put you onto your character sheet now, Nixius. Want to have a look? So this is your loadout at the minute.
Look at the screen, James. Look at the screen.
Sorry, old boy. Targeted ray. Yes.
So that's what you got. That's one of your rewards for your rank. It gives you +5 ballistic skill and +5 to your perception.
Don't I have mesh on this guy?
I believe so. I mean, maybe unless
No, just yeah.
I don't think so.
Crystal. What's the fucking crystal?
Just a crystal you looted on Mines of Mother. You don't have to put it in that slot. I don't think you've got anything else there to put in there. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Happy with yours? Okay. So next up is Courtney. I'll put you onto Courtney's character sheet. So this is what I've got you loaded out at the minute, Courtney.
Okay.
You've got a couple of magic items, supposedly from the mission down to the mines. I've got you armed with a las pistol and a mono axe.
Yeah, I'll do.
Yeah, you're happy with all that. But you've also got some spare weapons. You've also got some spare weapons as well, and some spare armor. You've got some. You've got an auto gun. What's that?
Fucking flask.
Why have all Johnny's characters got fucking thermos flasks?
Just one of those things. Let's just make something very clear, Dave. You created this character. You bought him a thermos flask.
Because you like to give all my characters thermos flasks.
Okay. So are you happy with your loadout, Johnny? There's nothing you want to change there, or
No,
okay.
fine.
So we'd go on to so here's the one. I think we've lost Hayden, but Hayden's basically got nothing going for him at the minute, apart from I'm going to put some overalls on.
Well, he's got an explosive collar. That's all we need, Al.
Well,
All we need to do is lure him across a bridge.
very good. Okay, so I'm going to put these overalls on, which is looted.
Hayden, we're going to blow up your character. Is that all right?
I'm gonna give him an autogun.
Okay, so you want to give him an autogun?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going
Well,
to
can
see.
we find out what weapons he would normally use?
Okay, so I'll tell you, we'll do a bit of metagaming here. His
Yeah.
proficiencies are melee primitive,
Mhm.
thrown primitive, basic solid projectile, and pistol solid projectile. So he could use an autogun.
Cool.
Is that
that's,
what,
that's
do you
great
want to,
then, to be honest.
do you-
'Cause that's got
so
like
Yeah,
four
pass me
arms.
autogun.
I didn't catch all that, guys, because do you want to say again?
I was just gonna say I'll pass him the autogun.
Okay.
Thanks, Johnny.
No
Is he
worries.
not? Is he not melee orientated with him having many arms?
Well, yeah, but he could also kind of use a basic weapon and melee weapons as well, sure.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm getting at. He hasn't got one, has he? That's what I'm saying.
No, but I was almost to the point where we just go and fucking kill us some stormtroopers and rob their
I think
shit.
it might be more useful, like just for tracking and stuff like that. You know, I imagine they've got like tracking abilities and things like that, which would be more useful than what any human characters might have. You know what I mean? From being on the bio, I'd imagine they've got some sort of ability to track. That's being a bit meta, but
That's fine. I mean, we're kind of towards the end of the session, and I think we're just having a bit of a meta game and a bit of a talking out character sort of thing here at the minute. So it's all good. So you give him the autogun. I mean, yeah, I think if he was with us, he would probably want you to give him a melee weapon. If you've got any going, I don't know if you want to check your character sheet, see if there's anything going.
I don't know.
Let's have a look. Okay, so I mean, if you're not got anything, maybe you'll find something down there, or maybe maybe you'll just have to improvise.
I think
Or maybe
we'll probably get something.
maybe you can kill a man with his bare hands. I don't know. So, Tommy Lee, this is I've got the loadout I've got for you.
My revolver. I've got my wooden teeth in. Yeah, cool. Ugly
Excellent.
staff. I've got some fat loot. I've really got some good shit.
It's the good shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're nearly ready to start the combat mission. I was hoping we'd maybe get on with this a bit tonight, but I don't think we're going to have a chance. So I think we're going to have to leave it here.